Thank you, Madam Speaker. Please recognize Representative Fettgetter to present the Veteran of the Week.
Mr. Fettgetter, Representative Fettgetter, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I'd like for you to welcome to the chamber this morning or this afternoon a lifelong resident of House District 16. He's still serving his community as well as other veterans. He has a place at his home called the Patriot Place, where veterans get to go and they can sign his guitar, and it's full of memorabilia. He's had a lot of really great veterans that have come through there. He's not only my friend, but a family member. So please welcome and extend the privileges of the House to Chief Warrant Officer, retired, David Nelson. Thank you. Madam Speaker, would you have the clerk read the citation?
Clerk will read.
Whereas David Nelson, a resident of House District 16 in Morris, Oklahoma, honorably served the United States Army from 1995 to 2015, achieving the rank of Chief Warrant Officer 3, an Okmulgee County native and 1994 graduate from the Morris High School. In 1995, he joined the United States Army, graduating basic training in 1997. During his 20 years in the Army, he was deployed 8 times, including deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. Whereas David Nelson was a forward observer in the 2nd Battalion, 82nd Field Artillery in Fort Hood, Texas, of the 1st Cavalry Division. At the mentoring of a great soldier, Sergeant Edward Homier, David decided to go through the Ranger Indoctrination Program and become one of the Army's elite airborne Rangers. In early 1998, being assigned to the 1st Battalion of the 75th Ranger Regiment at Hunter Army Airfield in Savannah, Georgia, he completed numerous military schools and combat tours, including the Army's premier leadership training, the grueling 61-day Ranger School to earn the coveted Ranger tab. He also attended the U.S. Army Master Jump School, primary leadership development course, and basic non-commissioned officer course. There were also several joint schools, including Joint Firepower Course Control, Naval Gunfire School, Landing Forces Tactical Air Control Party courses, and whereas David Nelson in 2003 was accepted into the Army's Warrant Officer Candidate School/Flight School program at Fort Tucker, Alabama. A year-long process to finish both schools, and he graduated as a Black Hawk. David then went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, to the historic 101st Airborne Division for the next 6 years. Shortly after the arrival to Fort Campbell, David was deployed to Iraq with the 5th Battalion and the 101st Aviation B Co-Lancers for 12 months. He was deployed again in 2007 to Afghanistan for 12 months with the same unit. Then again in Afghanistan in 2010, but this time as the Battalion Tactical Operations Officer. David has 1,400 flight hours as a Black Hawk helicopter, 1,000 of which are combat hours. He even had the opportunity to fly fellow Okie Toby Keith around Afghanistan in one of his USO tours. And whereas David Nelson has received various accommodations over the 20 years he served, including the National Defense Ribbon, 6 Army Achievement Medals, 5 Army Commendation Medals, Joint Service Commendation Medal, the NATO Ribbon, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the Ranger Tab, Senior Jump Wings, Senior Aviation Wings, British, Canadian, and French Airborne Wings, 3 Overseas Ribbons, the Global War on Terrorism Service Ribbon, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Ribbon, the Afghanistan Campaign Medal, 3 Air Medals, the Meritorious Service Medal, and the Bronze Star. And whereas David Nelson returned to Morris in 2015, where he lives with his wife, Kelly, they have 2 children, a son, Dakota, who next month deploys for his first tour, and daughter, Savannah. David is also Granger to 2 grandchildren, Kason and Isla. David continues his heart of service by volunteering in Morris community. He likes to recognize others who served, as well as invite veterans from any branch of the service to Patriot Place, a place to stop and share their stories. Whereas the state of Oklahoma holds our veterans in highest esteem and appreciates the sacrifices and contributions they have made to preserve our freedoms and way of life, the Oklahoma House of Representatives takes great pride in honoring you for serving your country. Now, therefore, pursuant to the motion of Representative Scott Fettgatter, and the state of Oklahoma extends to David Nelson sincerest commendations and directs that this citation be presented.
Members, join me in thanking Mr. David Miller for his service.